All right, let's finish up the second floor framing. So I'm going to bring my floor joist across this way. But as you're looking at it, you're saying, well, wait a second, there's no wall here, so I would need to put a beam across here to carry the other end of the floor joist. Remember, we need the floor joist has to rest on something on both ends of it. So I'll put a beam across here, and then I'll span my floor joist in this direction to carry that load. So let's do that. Let's put a beam across there. Let's say it's still a 2x12. Probably, it possibly could be steel, but let's say it's a 2x12, and we'll put it from here. It'll sit on a post, and then it'll come all the way across to here. Now, I didn't pay attention to the location of it, so now we could be in a little bit of trouble by not paying attention. It might be in the wrong location, so we'll go to that section and see where did I really put it. Look where I put it. I put it way up there. So let's change the offset to 0, which now drops it down to here, but we still need it to be -3/4. Let's see what happens when we do that. Yep, so it dropped it down. So now I have that beam, but I'll probably need more than one across there. So let's put a post here to carry this end. So that would be structure column. And let's see what we have for columns here. Well, we have 2x4. That's probably not good enough. So let's see. We have a pipe column, and then we have some W shapes. So let's take the 2x4, edit the type, duplicate it. Let's make it a 2x6. Okay, which means that the 3.5 will become 5.5, because a 2x4 is 1.5 by 3.5, and a 2x6 is 1.5 by 5.5. So now we have a 2x6. So let's just put it in there for now. And then where do we want it? Where are the parameters? Well, it will go to the first floor. It won't go to the second floor. Let's put it to the top of the first floor wall. Okay, and now let's move it kind of where we want it to be. Let's put it right here. Okay, and before we go any farther, let's take a picture and see what we just did. See how that works. Yeah. So now what I've done, maybe in consistent colors would be a little bit better, but I've put a post to carry this 2x6, but we really want more than one. So let's go back to the second floor structural, and well, we might want more than one 2x6 too. Let's put 3 there just to be safe. Okay. And then we'll extend this guy across to the end because we want it to rest on that. And on this side, it rests here. I can't see the gypsum board, so we'll put a reference plane in there, which is a 1/2 inch off of this face. And then we want this guy to go all the way to that reference plane, which is 1/2 inch inside of the wall, because half of that 1/2 inch is gypsum board. So now we have the right lengths. Let's copy this guy to the end of there. And then let's copy this guy to the end of here. And let's just put that one in the middle. So we'll measure from here to here to there. And then we'll just say equal. And now we can get rid of that. So what I've done is I've spaced those apart equally. So that's a beam. We'll look at the section. That's a beam that we just put in right here. 1, 2, 3. Do it in consistent colors. You can see. We go back to the second floor structure, and my depth of field is showing farther back. So what I'm also seeing is this 2 by 12 there. I'm going to change my depth of field so I'm not quite, this is the depth of field now. I'm not quite seeing into that floor. And now we can see it much better. Those are the 3 2 by 12s that I've put in there to carry the one end of the floor joist. So now I have my structure. I can make my outline. So let's do that. Well, first let's save it. And then we'll put in our structure. Structure. It's a beam system. It should default back to what we've already set up. So it's the right level away from the top of the floor. It's 3/4 of an inch down, which leaves 3/4 of an inch for the plywood subfloor. The spacing is 16 inches, which is what we want, and the material is 2 by 12. So now we'll simply draw that outline of where we want this to go to. Well, let's go to the end of here. Not quite exactly right. And then to here, and over to the edge of the stairs. And then we want it to go. I'm not doing a good job of picking my points, so I'm going to have to go back and clean it up using the align tool, which is all right. I don't have to be exact until I have to be exact, which means that I can go back in and clean it up. So we want this guy to come over to here, to there. All right, so we know we can move this line over a 1/2 inch, so we'll just move it from where? Well, pick up any point on the screen. Use the mouse to show the direction and say 0.5 inches. Okay, this doesn't quite line up, so we'll use the align tool to line it up. And I think I want to align to the edge of the stairs like that. That one looks good. That one looks good. This one needs to move down a 1/2 inch because right now it's on the face of the gypsum board of the wall below. And I want it to be a 1/2 inch over. Same with this one. I want to move it from where? Well, pick anywhere you want on the screen. Use the mouse to show the direction and the keyboard to show the distance, 1/2 inch. This one should line up right with there, so I'll align it. This guy lines up right with the interface of the plywood, so I'll use the align tool. You see, I wasn't too concerned about getting these lines in correctly to begin with, because I was having a little difficulty actually making that line exactly where I wanted it. So I know I would be able to come back and fix it later. So this will line up with here, and then we'll move it a 1/2 inch using the mouse to show the direction and the keyboard to show the distance. Let's see, okay, now here we need to go back a 1/2 inch too. No, we need to go all the way to here. So let's align it to there and then move it back the 1/2 inch. Well, I think we've got it. Now notice the direction that the floor joists are going. They're going side to side. We want them to go front to back. So we click on this button, beam direction, and pick any line that's going in the direction that we want the floor joist to go. Now our double line is here. I think we're good. So it's telling me that I have one of my lines somewhere isn't closed. So I pick on one of those lines and I'll say isolate category. Oh, it's not letting me do that. That would be very helpful right now. All right, so now I have to walk myself around. It wasn't letting me isolate that, which would have been very nice. But let's see if we can. See, these lines don't connect. Let's try it now. Yeah, they work. But it went in the wrong direction. I wanted it to go front to back. And for some reason, it flipped back. So let's edit the boundary. And we'll change the beam direction. We have a vertical line, which is the direction we want it to go in. And now we have it. So now we have our floor joist for our entire second floor. Actually, I have made a mistake here, a big one, in that these floor joists don't go up to the plywood. We have a bond that goes all the way around, which I haven't put in yet. So slight mistake on my part. We should have put the bond in first, and we didn't. So we'll have to go back and do that. And we'll do that on the next video.